Hey everybody, welcome back to the Section O podcast. It's episode 5 and a super cool show for you guys today. I thought we'd do something a little different. I thought that we'd share with you some stories from the female fan base of the Canadian Football League and the Edmonton Eskimos. You know, it's not all about guys that watch football. There's a lot of women out there that love our sport, love our league, and deserve to have their stories told. So we got an all-females perspective today. It's hoping to be a great show. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's bring in Sam. Back on episode 5 of the Section O podcast. She was in episode 2, one of my favorite interviewers. Sam, what's going on?
Hi, how's it going?
Not bad. Now, we got a bit of a problem, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Tell me what it is.
Basically, the Eskimos cheer team is in desperate need of getting some sponsors to help us with our calendar this year.
For people that don't know, when you guys produce the calendars, every month is sponsored by a different business. Like July has a business, August and whatnot has a sponsor with it. And what happens if all 12 months aren't filled on the calendar with business sponsors?
Yeah, so basically there's 13 spots that need to get filled total, and if they aren't all filled, then when we start selling the calendars, instead of the profits going to the cheer team and sending us to Grey Cup, we first need to pay back the cost of making the calendar. So the first however many calendars don't actually help send us to Grey Cup. It's just us paying back for the production. Now
that seems like a pretty heavy burden on you guys. Already you're inundated with routines and practicing before the game, and then you guys have work, school, and all that. Now you have to worry about possibly paying out of pocket to go to the Grey Cup, and that's going to really limit the amount of girls and guys that go to this.
Yeah, it definitely could have an effect, especially for those of us who are all still in school and not working full-time jobs. I mean, it is costly to go, but in past years, we've always been able to fundraise the total, mostly through calendars sales. So if we don't have that option this year, then it is definitely going to be a lot more difficult to get us all there.
How many sponsors do you have right now, and how many do you need?
The last that I checked, we had 4 sponsors lined up, and we need 13. So we are still 9 short.
Section O sponsored the calendar in 2012, and it was $1,000 about. It's $945 with GST. So you're missing 13 minus 4 sponsors. Whatever the math is, guys, you guys can figure that's a huge amount of money that you guys have to make up before you can even turn a profit to use that as a slush fund to go to the Grey Cup.
Yeah, it is a lot of money that we are missing right now.
When is the deadline to get this in?
Originally the deadline was June 1st, but since we are having such a problem with it, we've extended it. So I think it was July 20th is now the last week that we can do it.
So for business owners or business folks or like-minded people like us, if they wanted to sponsor a page, who do they contact?
The best person to contact would be our head coach, Diane Greeno, and you can just send her an email. So her email is diane.greeno@esks.com.
People, you guys can also find that on the Esks page. Just go esks.com, find the subsection for the cheer team. There's a contact list there. She'll have her email and phone number there. If not, you can just call the Esks office. I'm sure they'll forward all that info there. Guys, if you're listening to this podcast, we need sponsors to step up, lay some money down. Not only is it cheap if you're a business owner, $1,000. It's also great exposure for your business. It's great promotion. And more importantly, it's sending this volunteer cheer team. Keyword, volunteer. They're not getting paid for any of this. And as a matter of fact, it might end up costing them money. So at the end of the day, you're going to help send them to the Grey Cup. You're going to help send them to other various events that they go to. And I think you guys are well deserving of this. There's no reason in my mind that you guys should have to pay your own way to the Grey Cup.
Well, I hope it doesn't come to that.
Yeah, or pay your own way to do some of the other stuff that you guys do, because you are community ambassadors. You are giving back to Eskimo fans and CFL fans and whatnot. So, guys, $1,000. Hit up the website, contact Diane. Let's get these calendars paid off before they even start selling them at the game, so that all the money that they sell goes towards a slush fund to send these guys to Grey Cup. Sam, thanks for coming on and sharing this potentially devastating news with us, and hopefully that we can turn it around and shine this into a positive light.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Rachel joins the podcast now. Rachel, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Not bad. Now, in our little discussion before this, we were talking about Fred Stamps And Fred Stamps seems to be the common player of choice on Ladies' Night on this podcast. Tell me, why do you have a crush on Fred Stamps?
Honestly, it's not even like a crush. The first time that I met Fred Stamps was at Commonwealth. They had one of those season ticket holder meet the team barbecue things. So I went with my family. I was in grade 9, and I saw Fred. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's so good looking. That's great. But then when I watched him play, I was like, damn, this guy's got some skill. So then it kind of just, from there on, he just became my favorite. So then when he got traded, it was like the worst day of my life thus far.
Was it the dreadlocks that did you in?
I don't even know. Like, even my mom, she thinks he's the best looking thing on earth. So she just thinks that it's like he has this perfect jawline and his smile and his teeth and his dread. She just loves him like everything. I don't know. He's nice to look at, and he's a great player. I don't know. Just something about Fred.
Tell me about when you found out he got traded to Montreal. Did you cry?
Well, I was at work, and I kind of knew the day was going to come, like, sooner or later. So I went on a break, and I checked out my phone, and it had just happened. And there were so many people around me, I just didn't even know what to do, so I, like, held it in pretty well. And then when I got home and talked to my mom, we were just bawling. It was pretty awful. It makes me sad even just thinking about it.
Oh, no, don't cry on the podcast. We can't have any of that.
But even watching him in Montreal the other night, that pretty much killed me. Last night, it was pretty sad.
Well, we're going to be in Montreal in August for the game, so is there any words that I can pass to Fred Stamps for you?
Just tell him that I love him, Edmonton loves him, and that we're all sad that he left. And no matter what, he'll still be our number 1.
Number 2 in the playbooks, number 1 in your hearts, Fred Stamps. There you go. I will pass that message along to him. Little hidden gem here that people might not know about. You actually interned for TSN. You went through NAIT Broadcasting School, and you got an internship at TSN. Tell us about that.
Yes, that's what I did. So in order to complete my education at NAIT, I had to do a 4-month semester or a 4-month internship at anywhere I wanted as long as they would accept me for that time. So I kind of just, took a shot and was like, you know what, let's try this internship at TSN and see what happens. And then I got the call like a week and a half before Christmas, like, Rachel, do you want to come to TSN and do the internship? And of course, I accepted. And just within 3 weeks, I was packed up and moved to Toronto by myself. Never been to Toronto. Living on my own. Crazy. Just all the people that you got to see at TSN, like there are athletes in there all the time. I was there during the Olympics, so it was just craziness, like all the gold medals that we saw won there. And of course the anchors and the reporters, they're something else. There are some characters there. But yeah, it was a really good experience, and I'm glad I took the leap and did it.
We were discussing earlier, and it's no secret that Toronto's not really a CFL town. They could really care less. They're all about the Leafs, number 1, and then, they all got a big boner for the NFL down there. But you're from Western Canada, which is pretty CFL crazy. Edmonton, got a big following for the Eskimos, and here you are now at World Headquarters, TSN, and you're a big CFL fan. Did it catch any of them off guard to find out that you were a huge CFL fan?
Well, they all knew that football was my number 1. And when I started talking to them more about the NFL and the CFL, they actually were so shocked that I love the CFL as much as I did. Because I do love it more than the NFL just because we have our team at home and stuff. But they all just thought it was a joke because for them, the CFL is nothing. It's all Blue Jays for them. That's it. Even the Maple Leafs, because they're so crappy, they just could give a shit about them. But yeah, they just... So, some of them would make fun of me and stuff. I'm like, you know what, whatever. You can be, cheering for the Argonauts, the Raptors. I don't even care. So I got a lot of hate from them. And then also with the Seahawks, that's my NFL team. They thought I was a bandwagoner, but when you're a CFL fan and you don't have a team by you, kind of have to pick a team and just jump on their bandwagon. So I did. So haters gonna hate, man.
Haters gonna hate.
Well, what can you say?
But that's one of the things that kind of angers me with people in the non-CFL markets, or guys that just, again, like hate on the CFL just to hate on the CFL. And I'm going to take an excerpt from back in the day. It was called the Swag and Stagger Show, and there was a guy on there named Tony Allen. He went on a huge fucking rant about standing up for the Canadian Football League. Like, this is my team, Eskimos, Stamps, Tiger Cats, whatever you like. This is my league, and this is my number one. And he was saying that, you go to a party and guys are like, oh, what's your NFL team? I don't have one. I like the Stampeders or the Eskimos. What do you mean you don't have an NFL team? And then he's, wondering about if people just make shit up or, like you said, get on a bandwagon just to, feel accepted with their buddies at a party or with complete strangers. And you know what? That's me. Not jumping on the bandwagon, but people go, oh, who do you cheer for in the NFL? I don't fucking give a shit less who my NFL team is. Like, whatever, but it is what it is. Okay, so who's your favorite player now in 2015 now that Fred Stamps is gone?
Honestly, I've been having such a hard time choosing one, so I don't even have one right now. So I went to Fan Day with the intention of finding a new favorite player, and it's easy for people to say, oh, pick the star receiver, pick the star defensive player, or pick the quarterback, but for me it's not like that. Fred, to me, he's kind of irreplaceable, so to pick a new player, these guys have to step it up and prove to me that they're just as good as Fred Stamps in my books. Like, it's a tough competition, man.
What's your criteria?
Well, okay, if we're comparing these suitors to Fred Stamps, like, obviously Fred is gorgeous, he's a great athlete, great player, leading scorer, touchdowns, everything. So I don't know, there just has to be something there. So at Fan Day, I was scoping them out. I mean, they all have great skills, they're nice to look at, but just hasn't clicked yet with anyone. I'm not feeling it yet.
But Darius Bowman is taken by your sister as her favorite player, so you two can't have the same favorite player, right?
No, not at all. Like,
Why?
I've taken pictures with Darius, and we've talked, like, we're friends, whatever, but honestly, like, I can't even lay a finger on him for a hug or nothing without her freaking out, so that's her territory. Don't want to stomp on those grounds at all.
Are you offensive-minded, or do you like the defensive players? It's
kind of hard to say. With Fred Stamps, he's been my favorite player for years. And even before that, it was Jason Tucker, Ed Hervey, love John Avery. But so then, it was offensive. But even now, there's a lot of great guys on defense that I really like. So it kind of just varies from season to season. So
I like the D-line. The D-line is one of the most badasses players on the field. Like, they are badass motherfuckers on that field. And now that they're doing the somersault, right, just trolling, just quarterback after he gets sacked. And I have to give credit to Charleston Hughes and Sean Lemon out of Calgary. When they sacked Riley and they did the motorcycle and the whole build-up to that, like, all that came from the D-line.
Yeah.
Like, just trash talk and Twitter trash talk and getting everybody hyped up. And they're massive dudes.
Yeah. See, they just don't care. Like, they do their own thing. They play by their own rules. And I love that about the D-lines. But I can't even commend Calgary for anything. Like, they drive me bonkers. I can't deal with that. Like, the whole, like, motorbike thing, taking a picture with the bike and rubbing that in our faces, I can't. I was heated. There's a bad scene over at this household, so I can't.
Aren't they pieces of shit?
Oh, man, I just have the biggest hate for Calgary as a club, but only because of the sports teams rivalry. Honestly, I don't even like going to Calgary anymore just to go to, like, the Stampede or nothing. Like, I just, like, stand clear of it just because I take it so seriously, I guess. Just like a big hater.
See,
I know.
Whenever we go to Calgary, we always have a good time downtown, and I'll say it right now, and people can hate on me for it. I think Calgary's got a better downtown right now than Edmonton, and of course it's going to be transformed with the new arena. But Stephen Street and 17th Ave, like, man, we just have a great time down there.
No, it's pretty bumping down there. Like, our downtown, it's pretty bad. You always hear, like, people getting stabbed or shot. Like, Club XO got shut down because too much sketchy business over there. Like, my friends don't even like going down there because it's so sketchy, so it's like I have to go by myself. So that's awesome.
Yeah, but the heat scores everywhere you go. It's no different here than Calgary or Vancouver, Toronto, whatever. But
yeah.
So if anybody's paying attention to this podcast, drop a comment down in the info box. We have to get Rachel a new favorite player to get her jersey crested.
It's been a struggle, so I need all the help I can get.
Do you have any candidates right now going forward?
Man, I don't even know. Like, the whole team is up there pretty much. No dudes leading the way right now. I need some help from either the players, the fans, Twitter followers, something. I just need all the help I can get.
Let's go off the board. Let's just go Chris Jones. How about him?
Are you kidding, man?
He's badass.
He's pretty bad.
He's not bad. He's badass.
He's a BA. He's a badass.
He's a badass motherfucker, Chris Jones.
I don't know. I just when something great happens, it'll click, and I'm like, yep, that's who's going on my jersey. So until then, you keep playing hard, do some cool things, some interceptions for a touchdown, some one-handed catches or something. That'll impress me, and then it'll be a done deal, just like that.
Thanks for coming on the show, Rachel.
Thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
We got Kayla on the Sectional podcast next up on Ladies' Night. What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. You are one of the more vocal ones that I have on my followers list for Twitter. Tell me, how did you get into the CFL?
Honestly, I don't even remember. It's been kind of a long stretch of becoming a fan, but I remember back in high school, I actually hated football. I thought it was the worst sport in the world. Until I actually went to a game, I crushed on a guy who played football, and I was like, I'm going to go and watch him. But then from there, I was like, screw the guy. I love this sport. And I started watching a little bit of NFL and then kind of got into that. And then it gradually trickled into CFL. And I'd probably say I'm a bigger CFL fan than I am NFL now. So it's a long process.
Did I just hear correctly? You dumped a guy for football.
Well, I didn't dump him. That's the reason why I went to the game. But then.
And then you dumped him for football.
Well, if you want, yeah, sure. Make myself look good. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Usually it's the other way around. You're just like, you spend too much time with football. You don't spend enough time with me. But you dumped a girl dumped a guy for foot. That's awesome.
It's really hard. It's hard to find guys who actually like football.
It's hard to find guys that like football?
Yeah.
Come on.
At least in my circle. They don't exist.
Oh my goodness. So what is it? It's just all hockey guys or what?
Yes, and guys who don't like sports, which I don't understand that.
What kind of guys don't like sports?
What I say?
The ones that hang out in Starbucks and write their screenplay, right? I
think so, yeah. The world is coming almost too metrosexual for me.
Oh my goodness. This is going to be a great interview. I can already predict right now. You had a pretty big crush on Fred Stamps, and you were pretty gutted when he got traded.
Oh, it wasn't even like a crush. It was just, he was like my holy grail of players. And, I think I went into a slight football depression because it was on my birthday I found out in Iceland that.
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah, it was my birthday. I went onto Facebook or something, and it was announced, and I don't even know how I feel about it still.
Did you cry?
I hadn't cried yet, but when I got home, I think it was a couple weeks later, the New Orleans Saints actually released Pierre Thomas, who is my ultimate athlete crush. Like, he is amazing, and they released him too. So I lost two of my favorite players from two of my favorite teams from football. So I'm still in kind of a player depression right now, but yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do without Stamps, to be quite frank.
And you were a million miles away in Iceland when this happened. This couldn't have happened at a worse time for you.
Yeah, it was like a breakup on the birthday kind of feeling.
Oh my goodness. Did you bring any Eskimos gear to Iceland?
I did.
Did anybody recognize it?
No.
No?
No.
Did you get a lot of questions, a lot of looks?
No, actually. People, I think, just kind of like did their own thing. And, it was in January, so the tourism was still pretty hot, but it wasn't super busy outside of Reykjavik. So where we were, there weren't a lot of tourists.
What did you bring for swag?
I had my sweater, my t-shirt, and did I bring my scarf? I'm not sure. And my toque, but I know I posted those on Twitter.
One of the things I've noticed is when people travel that they always bring something from home that they can recognize with. Mm-hmm. Like, I went to Japan a couple years ago, and I brought every single piece of Eskimo thing that I have. Every time I go to Vegas, like, all I wear is Eskimo stuff. And it's like, hey, you're from Edmonton. Hey, you're from here, and, you recognize people on the street in a complete foreign land because of something that you have in common with. And is that going through your mind when you travel? Like, you travel a lot. I'm just wondering, hey, I should pack some Eskimo stuff with me?
Kind of. Like, I knew for Iceland that it's January. No Canadian's going to go to a cold place to go for a holiday. So I just did it to, like, represent and to leave my mark and be like, what's up, guys? Like, hey, CFL's important to me. I'm bringing it wherever I go, and I hope that the league, like, knows that, we're pretty big fans, and we're going to take our stuff with us. More so in Europe, I'm kind of looking forward to hopefully someone recognizing it. But in Iceland, I really didn't think that it would happen. You
got to represent the Eskies because there's too many Rider fans out there getting posted everywhere.
I know.
With all their gear.
Oh, bullet to the brain. Seriously, guys.
We never get recognized. It's always Saskatchewan.
I know. Like, they're so vocal that it's like, hey, I respect because, you represent your team, but at the same time, just shut up. Oh, my gosh.
Rory called out Vancouver in the previous episode. Are you calling out Saskatchewan right now?
Just tone it down a bit, guys. Like, we get it.
I am directing all the heat your way for this one. Saskatchewan, I did not even bring this one. Actually, you know what? I did. I share equal amount of culpability in this. So you know what, Saskatchewan fans, again, you can drop a comment in the info box below on YouTube, and we will share the hate. We'll share the hate.
You know what? If they're going to hate on my Eskies, then you know what? It's going to fly back on your face. But I've got a really good friend who's a Riders fan, and my sister's a Riders fan, so I'm sitting here alone by myself. I get it all the time. Bring it.
Is your sister older or younger?
She's older.
So you couldn't beat her up for wearing Saskatchewan colors?
No, she would kick my ass.
Really? Oh, my goodness. That must have been a divided house.
Well, my family, they're not huge football fans like I am. I think she just likes to say she's a Riders fan because she was born in Saskatchewan. But my dad, for some reason, has turned into a Riders fan. I don't know how or why, but he's got gear.
You're alone in this world.
I am alone. But you know what? Oh, well.
Who do you go to the games with?
A bunch of random people. I don't really have, like, many friends that are huge football fans. They just kind of come to enjoy the game. And, like, I have one girlfriend who likes football, but she won't watch it outside of the game. But, stragglers, some other girlfriends, occasionally my mom will come, but no one who's, like, legit fans. So I gotta rope them in somehow.
Are you loud?
I'm very loud. I got my man voice going at games.
Give me an example.
Oh my gosh. I had to hold the phone away because I get loud.
Hang on. Let me turn the microphone down.
Okay.
All right. Give me an example.
But it's kind of like, come on, guys, let's go! Kind of thing like that, where it's like, it hurts the back of the throat after the game.
We're going to recruit you to come up in Section O. We could use that passion.
Hey, I could use some passion around me. For some reason, I always get seats with, like, the schlums. They just sit there and clap once in a while.
We need more young people like you at the games. More young women, more young kids, more young everything involved with the Canadian Football League, because for a while now, like, the demographic is just an older crowd. Like, we have to inject some new blood into this, and that's kind of the point of this podcast here. We're trying to get to the unheard fan base.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on, guys. Like, represent. CFL is great. The games are great. Like, the Esks do so much for the community. Like, I don't understand why this city doesn't back up the Eskimos as much as they do the Oilers. It's unfathomable, to be honest.
Yeah, we've had that conversation before, and it kind of is what it is. But speaking of passion, in the pre-interview, you told me that you were a big Harry Potter fan, and I told you I was going to put you on the spot on this podcast.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm not going to represent my nerds well enough. Oh, but yes, I am.
I have a Harry Potter quiz.
All right. Whew.
You know what? I'm going to throw in a prize for this too. I'm going to give you five questions. If you can get 3 out of 5, I got a $10 Starbucks certificate for you.
Oh, I'm down for that. I'm sweating now, though.
You know what? I'm keeping a tally. I've never seen 5 minutes of Harry Potter. Again, you guys can drop a hate comment in the info below. I've never seen Harry Potter. I've got no desire to watch Harry Potter. I like reality garbage TV. If you're cheating, I won't know. Actually, no, hang on a sec. Oh my god, it gives me the answers. Oh, you're screwed now. You ready for this? Now I know.
Yeah.
Now I know if you're lying to me. Okay,
I got
ready?
all my stuff off, so.
Okay, question 1.
All right.
In transfiguration class, what object do the students have to change their animals into?
Water goblet.
A, fruit bowl. B, water goblets. Ice pitcher. Teacups.
B, don't even have to, list it.
Ding, ding, ding. That's 1. What is Gilderoy Lockhart's favorite color? Lavender, lilac, periwinkle, or cerulean?
What's cerulean? It's lavender.
I don't know. It's spelled Cerulean, but you say lavender?
Yeah.
Lilac.
Ah! Wrong L.
What is wrong with you? You told me. Okay.
Oh, jeez.
You got to run the board here now. When was the first time Harry heard about Sirius Black? A, in a Diagon alley, on the night bus, in a leaky cauldron, on the TV in the Dursley house.
The night bus.
Yes!
Woo!
2 questions left. Gotta get one more. $10 Starbucks gift certificate on the line on the Section O podcast. This is maybe more lucrative prizes in the future.
Yeah. This is intense, though. It
is.
Yeah. Woo.
Oh, here's a good one. Only because I like the gift that's around it. Look at this. This thing breathes fire. In what order do the champions pick their dragons? A, Crumb, Cedric, Fleur, Harry. B, Fleur, Cedric, Crumb, Harry. Crumb, Fleur, Cedric, Harry. Or Fleur... What? Yeah, Fleur, Crumb, Cedric, Harry.
D.
D, Fleur, Crumb, Cedric, Harry. In what order do the champions pick their dragons?
Yes.
Nailed it!
Yes!
You win!
Whee!
You win! Now let's just do one more just because we're going to see this whole thing through.
Okay.
We got one more question. These ones are tough. I should watch these movies. Now I'm kind of interested. I take back everything I said.
I know. You gotta.
Who does Ron go to the Yule Ball with? Parvati Patil? Did I say that right?
Yeah, close enough. Yep.
Hermione Granger? Was I even right? Not even close? How badly did I botch that one?
It's Hermione Granger.
What did I say?
I don't even remember. That was hilarious.
Hermione Granger, I think I said. Is it even the right answer? Padma Patil or Fleur Delacour?
C.
4 for 5.
Yes.
Not bad. Nailed it. I'm gonna go brush up on my Harry Potter here. Hermione Granger. What the fuck did I do wrong?
That was probably the best butcher of a name I've heard in a very long time.
Anybody else listening to this show, if you can outbeat Kayla on Harry Potter, we'll bring both you guys on and have a showdown. Is that cool?
That is cool. That stupid color question? Who even knows that, honestly? But yes, I'm down for that.
Thanks for coming on the show, Kayla.
Thanks for having me.
You can pick up your prize. I'll bring it to the game July 9th against the Red Blacks. You going?
Oh, damn right. I am going.
All right. Take care, Kayla.
Thank you so much. Go Esks, go.
That's it for episode 5 of the Section O podcast, guys. Thanks for sticking around to the very end. The Bullets are live now. Game 1 of the regular season is today against the Argos, 3 p.m. Hope you can all make it out to the watch party at On the Rocks. The journey to the 2015 Grey Cup starts today. Go, Esks, go!